Oh my God, I can't believe someone said this out loud. Okay, so one of the weirdest things about the people trying to develop some sort of all-purpose general intelligence AI to be their personal slave is that they're also obsessed with the idea of that AI slave being conscious of its enslavement. Now, I think it's really weird to want a digital slave, but it's downright twisted to want it to be alive. But over the weekend, the New York Times published this op-ed arguing that it's actually okay to enslave something that's conscious. It said, and I quote, "Some worry that if AI becomes conscious, it will deserve our moral consideration, that it will have rights, that we will no longer be able to use it however we like, that we might need to guard against enslaving it. Yet, as far as I can tell, there is no direct implication from the claim that a creature is conscious to the conclusion that it deserves our moral consideration." I should say here, this conversation is entirely hypothetical, and what these people are talking about are reasonably advanced chatbots that communicate by mathematically predicting what the most probable next thing to say is. Are they cool? Sure. Are they alive? No. But our brains project consciousness onto language. It's how we're wired. But can it be alive so I can enslave it? That's how y'all sound. Now, the author does provide an example to back up her claim that it's not immoral to enslave conscious beings, and that example is the fact that most Americans eat meat, which I think is a fascinating example because most Americans who eat meat also go to great lengths to avoid thinking about the consciousness behind that meat. I mean, there's an entire body of scientific literature dedicated to understanding the different cognitive strategies that people use to cope with the moral conflict that arises when they eat meat. So the meat industry is a lot of things, but it's probably not solid philosophical ground on which you want to rest an argument for justifying digital slavery. Listen, some of these AI tools are useful, but I really believe that in a few years' time, we will look back at these conversations about creating an AI god to enslave and force to write our emails, and we will wonder who was lacing our water. I can't argue with a non-falsifiable claim that machines will one day become conscious. What I can say is that it's weird to be preemptively trying to establish a moral framework for enslaving something that would be aware of its own enslavement. This isn't really a conversation about AI. It's a conversation about humans and why some of us are drooling at the prospect of having something new to subjugate.